Even though we don't get to be in person, you get like real human being after a day of not leaving the house. So hopefully you guys are holding up okay. I know it's a unique moment for all of us. So tonight we're going to go straight to a topic that someone actually emailed and asked if I would cover. And I love that, guys. I'm always happy to completely change what my plans were and throw in your topics. So the question was specifically, what should we be stocking up on? How should we stock up? And this can be tricky because, half the grocery stores don't have food, or it feels like they don't. That's not where we're going to go tonight. What I want to talk about is first why, as a couponer, we do want to stock up. It actually saves us money. I've seen a number of memes today that I thought were quite humorous with, just everyone's who's laughing now, and the extreme couponers are not that person. So kind of funny in that sense, because those of us who've been doing this for a while, we do have a pretty good stockpile going. And it's not anything that's a huge concern. But what I do want to come at it from is, if you are just getting started, you don't have a stockpile to build from, what types of things would it be good to go ahead and grab right now? Not in an exorbitant manner, but enough to where maybe you could skip going to the store for a week or 2 weeks. I know a lot of folks who don't normally shop with even going once a week. So let's try to get into that mentality, because it's a good place to be. For our family, we live about 30 minutes from a grocery store. So for the last 7 or 8 years, I grocery shop once a week. I go into town one day. Those are the days that we are going to grab, or that's the day that I'm going to grab what deals we grab, and we're not going to go back. Not that we don't normally go to town for other things, but I'm not going back to the grocery store. So even if we could just get you to that point, that would be a great place to be. So first off, if you've got questions that are completely off topic tonight, go ahead and give them to me. I would love to hear them. I'm glad to jump around wherever you want to go. So questions in the comments, and either I will see them or my husband will see them, and between the two of us, we will try to get you an answer. That's like housekeeping. We have to cover that every time. And second, in terms of all of this, again, I want to emphasize, even for couponers, we only need enough for 6 weeks. I have seen plenty of YouTube videos and pictures of people sharing stockpiles with probably like 60 containers of detergent. Guys, it doesn't matter how long they tell you can't leave your house. That's more detergent than you would need for a year. So we need enough for 6 weeks. And the reason for that is not because you're not going to be able to leave for 6 weeks. It's because grocery sales run on a 6-week cycle. So if I go in today and I see that something's on sale, it is not going to be back on sale for 6 weeks. That's the concept of saving money, because I want to only buy it when it's on sale. So if you're just getting started, this is week 1 for you, you still want to go in and you still want to try to get 6 weeks. Now, I say try here because right now this may be a little tricky. Stores either don't have full stock, definitely not if you're looking for toilet paper, or they're limiting on some items. They're not limiting on the entire store. I intentionally stopped by a Publix yesterday just to see. I didn't even need to grocery shop, but just to see, what does the stock look like in this store? The store that I stopped in, I can't speak for all Publixes around the Southeast, but all they were out of in the entire store was toilet paper. They even had paper towels. So it's, if you're still seeing pictures of folks sharing, I don't know that that's really what you're going to experience unless you're in a really tiny town and a truck hasn't come in a while. But I think for a lot of us, when you do get to the grocery store, you're going to find that food is there. It's not the end of the world. There is food to eat. So we are trying to get, enough for 6 weeks, and hopefully you won't need more than that. But in theory, that is going to make it where even if I am going in for just a couple of items, I'm not in the grocery store for very long, and I don't have to run to the store. You could manage to make your meals from what you have on hand. That would be the goal. So that's the gist of why we stockpile, in case you are new to couponing or you're just seeing this pop in your Facebook feed and you're thinking, you know what, let's watch. That's why. because grocery sales run on a 6-week long cycle. So if I go in and I only grab one of something that's on sale, then next week when I need it again, I'm going to pay full price. I am not going to get it on sale. That sale's over. I missed that mark. So that's why we're going in. We're getting enough to last us. Now, let's talk about what we need to get right now. And then again, guys, yeah, if you have questions or comments, please leave them. I know I just saw Emily say our Publix is limiting everything to 2 per customer. And I think we'll probably see stores relax a little bit as they see people relax. So I think this coming week, we are going to have folks just take a deep breath. Yes, they're clamping down a little harder. The new regs that came out today are, no groups larger than 10. So I joked with my husband, because we're a family of 7. What happens when we go lower? Who's getting voted off the island? I'm up for solitary confinement if it gets to that point. But what I want you to focus on, if you do get to the store, what kinds of things would be great to have right now in a stockpile, because you need to keep in mind how much storage space you have to keep things that are not going to last. So I saw a lot of folks going hurricane status, basically. Those were the things that I was seeing in buggies. I confess, guys, not sure why people were making a run on water. Maybe you're concerned about water status at some point, but this isn't a hurricane. Now, we live on a well, so for me, I just didn't get it. I just walked around the store kind of shrugging at the folks with tons of water. What you want to focus on is definitely non-perishables. We want to go with our canned goods. And in terms of stocking up for that, if you can't make it to the grocery store, guys, this is Costco. So warehouse clubs are going to come in handy here if you are trying to stock up and you want to do it all in one trip. That was me on Friday night, or I guess it was last Thursday night, realizing, things are definitely hitting it. I don't know if y'all remember or not, but from our videos over the month of February, I actually did, up until the very end when I realized it was kind of a bad call, we did for the whole month of February, no grocery shopping. Bad call, because we need our stockpile. That's why we shop and we stay stocked. But for me, Thursday night, realizing, we're really low on canned goods. And the best way to handle that in a situation where stores are already cracking down was definitely the warehouse clubs. If you're not a member, I'm just going to throw this out there. There is a deal on Groupon for a free Sam's membership club. Or Sam's Club membership, but I also did a roundup, and I'll have my husband put the link in the comments of all of the current Sam or all the membership club deals. So if Sam's isn't near you, there's a deal for Costco, there's a deal for BJ's, making sure whatever one you have near you. So why would I say that? Normally, guys, I would say warehouse is not the way to go, because we can get these items cheaper in the grocery store, but for this guy, for example, this is Costco, their green beans, their canned corn, they had packs of, I want to say it was 12 in the case. They came out to 50 cents a can. Great price. It's the price we would aim for in Aldi. It's the price we would aim for in the grocery store as well. 50 cents a can. So there are definitely some things that are worth grabbing in the warehouse clubs, and you just grabbed 12. That's a lot. So we grabbed a little 12 pack of green beans. We grabbed a 12 pack of canned corn. Actually grabbed 2 of each. Because when you're in a family of 7, it takes 2 of these for one meal. You need to think about that too. If you've never stocked up kind of in mass for you, then you need to actually think about how much your family eats. So if you went in and you thought you were going to stock up on canned goods, and then you didn't really think about the fact, hey, it takes 2 canned goods every time we're going to eat dinner for a vegetable side, then you need to think about how many canned goods you're grabbing. So before you're heading to the store, what I would do, and this might be a little bit like math for some of you guys if you've never done it, is sit down and kind of make a list. How many cans of veggies do we eat in a week? How many boxes of pasta do we eat in a week? Some of these things might be 1 or 2, but some of them might be higher. So kind of getting a ballpark of what your family needs for 1 week. Now, I'm going to guess it's Monday, and a lot of you, your kids stayed home for the first time today, but in other areas, your kids have been home for a few days. And I would imagine for some of you, you just realized that lunch is killer. So all of the homeschooling parents in the world, we homeschool, we've learned these lessons, but it's the moment for you and kind of realizing, whoa, my kids are never here, or we pack a lunch and we send them away. but they eat a lot more when they're in person with you. So I need you to also sit down and think about that as you're planning what you need to grab. Do we have enough for lunches and breakfast and dinner? This is going to be a lot of food, and this is going to end up being, for you, probably a higher grocery budget month than it's really ever been, because you just don't realize how much, when your kids aren't home, how much they eat when they are home all the time, and they're bored, so they eat more, right, guys? So just to think about all of that before you head to the store, so that you make sure I'm getting this in one trip and I'm not gonna come home and be like, we didn't get enough. That's where the warehouse club's gonna come into, because you're not gonna be having that limit of 2 that some of the grocery stores are coming at us with. So let me jump to some questions really quick. Oh, and Lynn, your son thought he saw me on the Today Show today. That would be pretty sweet. I was on the Charlotte Today Show. I'm not sure if you live in the Charlotte area, but I did do some segments with Charlotte Today. So that might be why. I'm not sure. But hey, pretty sweet to get a segment wherever he saw me. So Amanda, question, I have a new Brother printer. What kind of toner should I buy and where should I get it? Always just head to Amazon and search for Brother toner and go with an off-brand. There's a number of them there, so look for ones that have great ratings. Most of them do. And you'll find that they're about $12 for the off-brand, which is pretty sweet. And that toner, get the high yield version, it'll last you almost a year, Amanda. So $12 for a year. That's why I love that printer, which if you're looking for that printer, by the way, guys, I did a post today. If you go to Southern Savers, it's on the homepage probably. Might be on the second page now. But Staples is offering $25 off of any $100 purchase, and the printer is on sale. So it'll make that printer come out to basically $75. It's a good price for that printer. So Sherry says, what do I recommend shopping for when on a very limited budget and you've not stockpiled before? I love this question, Sherry. And I'm actually going to have my husband put in a link to a budget meal plan that we posted towards the end of last year. So it's feeding a family of 4. I want to say it was like on $50 a week, but it's just a budget meal plan. Look at that meal plan and you're going to see really quickly what the cheaper items are to grab. My go-to, if you're trying to stockpile on some food, you don't have any stockpile set and you don't have a ton of money, you want to aim for dried beans. This is big. So a lot of us, we love canned beans, but dried beans, because one 1 pound bag of dried beans equals 3 cans of canned beans, guys. And they don't take that long to rehydrate. You either leave them in just a pot of water overnight. You use your Instapot if you have one of those. I'm pointing to mine, but you can't see it. I don't know about you guys. I don't have a place that it lives. It just lives in the corner of the dining room. Yeah, but we love it. So dried beans, 1 bag equals 3 cans. So you can stock up so much more with dried beans, not to mention they're cheaper than buying 3 cans of beans. So dried beans, rice, I would actually recommend going ahead and getting, I don't know how many people are in your family, but for our family, we went big here. We have a chef store in our area, which is like a restaurant supply store. I knew that rice was sold out. This was last week. I was kind of going into getting us ready mode. I knew that rice was already sold out in the grocery store. The chef store sells a 50-pound bag of rice. That's a lot of rice. For $19. It's actually way cheap compared to what you can get anywhere else. The warehouse clubs also have a pretty good price on this too. 50 pounds of rice is a lot. We keep it in a 5-gallon bucket, and it was so big it took 2 5-gallon buckets with lids. So just so you know how we're storing that. But we've done that before. This is not the first rodeo on that one for us. But that will last us ages. I won't need rice probably for the rest of the year, but we're set. Push comes to shove. Our family's literally going to eat rice and beans, but we have food. But those are easy and they're cheap. Pasta is also cheap and a filler. Some other things that you could look at that would be inexpensive, getting eggs and going ahead and hard boiling some and keeping some fresh. Eggs are a great source of protein and very inexpensive. They're also something that folks that don't have a lot of refrigerator space tend to leave. So you'll notice if your grocery store is sold out of food, they still have all the refrigerated stuff because people can't buy that in mass quantity. But going ahead and getting an extra dozen eggs isn't a bad idea. And while I'm not the FDA or whoever regulates food, I will let you in on a secret. Eggs in other countries are not refrigerated. In the US, we refrigerate our eggs. No one else does this. The eggs do not come refrigerated either. So we have chickens in the side yard, and in telling you to go and buy eggs, do you realize I am not buying eggs? But they don't come refrigerated. And sometimes for us, if we're out of town, they may not hit the refrigerator for a couple days, but they're just fine. So if you are out of space, that can really be the first thing that you go ahead and move out of the refrigerator to make space for something else. Let's see, I actually made a list of this one. So another place, if you have a lot of freezer space, go ahead and stock up on frozen veggies. This is also a great warehouse club buy. Costco has great 5-pound bags of organic veggies, and they come out to like $1.25 a pound. It's a pretty good price for organic veggies. Sam's and BJ's don't necessarily cater to the organic side the way that Costco does. I'm pretty sure in Costco you can't even find non-organic frozen veggies. That's just what they sell. But you could get something similar in the other warehouse clubs, or a restaurant supply store would also be great for that. If you want to go meat, you can, but meat's expensive. So if I'm going to buy meat in bulk, stick with chicken. Your family may get really tired of it, but it's a good way to go. And another option for meat, guys, this was another one. All I did was go into Costco and buy canned goods. But this was another one that we grabbed just because it's a great, you've got it in the freezer and you've got it in the pantry and it's protein. Now I have one kid who hates tuna, so this would be a very bad week for her. But this, again, came out to 50 cents a can, which is a go-to price. Now, not saying you need a warehouse membership here. Canned tuna 4-packs are BOGO at Publix starting on Wednesday. So check the sales, look at Southern Savers, use the item search on Southern Savers and search for those key things, canned veggies, canned tuna, and find where it's on sale and head there so that when you're stocking up, you're at least getting a deal on it. One other thing, if the budget is really, really tight and you're trying to get enough food, you're not used to shopping for a week or 2 weeks at a time, then you really need to stick kind of close to really what is a need and not a want. My 4-year-old is demanding juice right now. We have some dried, Country Time lemonade mix. That's juice for you right now. That's all you're going to get. It was buy one, get one. I can get that super cheap, but I'm not going to buy bottled juice if the budget is super tight. That's a splurge item. Drink water. It's not what they want to hear, but drink water. Snacks being the same thing. If you have to tell your kids, no, there's nothing to have a snack on. My 14-year-old actually came to me today and said, Mom, we're getting low on snacks. Not concerned. You will just wait until dinner and you'll be okay. But your budget will be okay too, because you're leaving out those splurge items that aren't necessary. They're fun, but they aren't necessary. And in this moment, that's where I would try to be. Let's try to cut the grocery budget, because you are going to be amazed at how much more you eat when you can't leave the house. The plus side to all this, though, is you're going to be amazed at how much you don't spend by not eating out. So maybe those are going to balance out each other. Let's just hope, right? And awesome. So you guys are saying that I did a segment, and this is probably what you saw. Was it on buying convenience items? I did a taped segment in Charlotte, and they were going to put it out across the NBC market. So super fun. I'm glad that you guys all caught it today. Get to be like a celebrity everywhere without having to go anywhere. I always like that too. It's only happened a few times. Okay. To jump back into where we were, Bubbles on YouTube is saying it's even hard right now to do the BOGOs in your area. Things are going to calm down. I had someone on YouTube that was really upset, or not YouTube, on Instagram that was really upset that I had shared a picture of a deal at Publix. But the minute I walked into Publix last night, they had a huge bin of Mission tortillas. I guess I'm thinking they should have a third name right in the front. So it is going to differ based on what store you're in, what area you're in. Here's a tip, guys. I will say the Publix that I was in last night was near the college campus, which has been sent home. So if you have a college in your area, let's shop near them, because their stores are probably a little bit more empty than the stores in your area. if that's an option, you might find some more food. But I really do think, guys, by the end of the week, things are going to become more normal. You are going to be able to find food. Maybe not toilet paper for another week or so, but you are going to find food. I do want to hit one thing on this whole stocking up and going to the grocery store. I've tried really hard. I spent a lot of time today on a Target list for you guys of making some lists of things that you can get online. Still use coupons on them. Some of them having them directly shipped to you, and some of them needing to at least just do a drive up. Just head in, push the button, say you're there, pick it up. But there are ways to save. That was actually all that we talked about on last week's Q&A. I tried to plan it. Was how to shop online and still save on groceries. But just to emphasize, Walgreens, which I'm loving. Walgreens has gone free shipping on any order. Staples, free shipping on any order. And we're seeing more and more of these stores follow that same suit. So if you want to grab some things, check online before you go into the store, because you might be surprised how many of these stores have lowered their shipping threshold. For me, I use I'm using a new face product. It's super cheap, actually. I should go and grab it from the bathroom and really do a plug here, but it's called The Ordinary, and it's from Ulta sells it, other people sell it. But I was placing an order today on Ulta for it. It cost $5. Ulta has lowered their shipping even. So normally what would take $35 or $40, so many of these stores are only asking for 10 or 15 before you get free shipping. So look for that before you go to the store. There is a lot that is out there with reduced or free shipping. Walgreens, for example, which I was saying that I love, is because Walgreens already runs all of their rewards online. The fact that they're running free shipping means that you can get these deals without going anywhere. You get the exact deal. So this right here, pulling it up, and I'll try to make it bigger for you guys on your phones. Completely free Colgate toothpaste and mouthwash, because I can use digital coupons and I still get the rewards. So if you've even never shopped drugstore deals before, this is your moment. You don't have to go there and you can still get the deal. There's a $2 off digital on both the toothpaste and the mouthwash. So grab one toothpaste, one mouthwash, load both digital coupons on Walgreens' website, and they still have some in stock. So it's all available. You'll see out of stock if they're out. So the mouthwash, that one is, but there are others that will be in stock too. So load the coupons that you need and then check out and you get the deal. So I made a big list. I already pulled this so my husband was ready. But a big list to where you could get almost all the deals. Yes, there are paper coupons for these items and you could do them in the store. Yes, if I went in here, for example, this Nexus deal in the store, I could use a second paper coupon, but I will actually tell you this Nexus is not priced that in the store. This is much lower than the in-store price in my area, so it still comes out to be a pretty good deal. So look at these lists. The Walgreens in-store, I also just did a huge Target one. The Target one is just using Circle offers. You cannot use Circle dollar off offers for online purchases, but you can use all the percentage off offers. So place these in your cart, choose pickup or choose drive up, and you're going to get the discount. So it's like 35 different deals that you can grab. Not saying you need them all. Some are definitely snacks. Pepsi's on the list again this week. But just so you realize you can save money and not actually have to go into the store. For Target, obviously you are going to have to go there to pick it up, but you can do it. So if you've got more questions on that, that is what we covered all last week. So I would encourage you to go back and watch last week's Q&A. I mean, what else do we have? There's no live football or anything else going on, basketball. Just get caught up on those. But you can definitely save some by shopping online, not going in the store. And you're going to do pretty well. So let's talk meals for a bit. I see Emily's sharing, making chicken noodle soup, broth, freezing bunches of it for pot pies later. So I love if you guys want to share what kind of meals that you make on a budget would be awesome for everybody. For us, my go-tos, as Emily was saying, they are chicken-based. So we will go ahead and I cheat and I boil. I think it makes my mother-in-law cringe. But boil chicken breasts, it's just the fastest way to cook them. Shred them in the mixer. If you've never done that, it's pretty awesome. shred it in the mixer, and then you're set to make chicken enchiladas. You're set to make, even you can use some for chicken fajitas if you wanted to go that route, and all the Mexican dishes that go along with it, chicken pot pie, chicken noodle soup. There's so much, and they're different. They're different meals that you can piece together with that. Ground beef is the other one, and also probably our second cheapest option for meat. With ground beef, getting creative and going with, we have a couple different soups that we enjoy ground beef in. One that our crew loves and is keto is taco soup. So Google that one, keto taco soup. It's pretty amazing. All it's going to take is ground beef, canned tomato, cream, and some seasoning. But it's some good stuff. So looking at those soups is a great way to go because it doesn't take as many ingredients as a full meal does. So if you can have a soup night, that's usually a money-saving meal for you. I'm not going to say all the time. It depends on what the ingredients are in the soup. But if you can factor one of those in every week in your meal plan, you're going to save some money with a weekly soup. Chicken noodle soup being a great one. Another one with soup too, whenever we make it, or lately, this is my goal anyway, is to always make 2 batches. So we did a ham and bean soup, made 2 batches, went ahead and froze one, ate one that night. So when you're cooking, do yourself a favor. You've got a lot of cooking on your plate right now. For some of you, you don't ever cook as much as you're going to cook in the next few weeks. So do yourself a favor and go ahead and double those meals and get one in the freezer right away. You're just done. You don't have to think about it. And you can pull that out in another week or a week and a half. Think about it that way. If I cook for 1 week and I freeze for the next week, hey, that's a pretty sweet week if you just did it that way. For me, a lot of times when I freeze, they get tucked away until they're really needed. But still, to take dinner off of your plate for a couple of nights next week is pretty sweet. And all it took was for you to just double the ingredients this week. So it doesn't have to take a lot of time to get that one extra meal in the freezer. And you'd be surprised what can go in the freezer. It makes it a lot easier for you. Great question. Carrie asks, can I use Ibotta for Publix grocery pickup? No. So Publix grocery pickup is really being run through Instacart. It's not being run through Publix. So not going to get you anything. Instacart does have coupons that you can load, nowhere near what Publix has available as Publix digital offers, but they do have some, and that's all that you're going to be able to use with Instacart. So just so you're aware, Instacart runs a number of the grocery stores' pickup systems. Kroger and Harris Teeter, Lowe's Foods, those are the 3 in the Southeast that run their own systems. So when I go to Lowe's Foods or Harris Teeter, they've picked it from that store. You can use that store's digital coupons for those items. You can use paper coupons on those items, but those are the only 3 stores that run their own systems. Everybody else just outsourced to Instacart, which I guess is nice, but not so nice when you're trying to save money. Okay, so Homestead and Crazy on the YouTube side, I have plenty of cleaners and soaps along with paper towels. They're low on meat and want to collect some jars and lids and maybe a pressure canner. Any deals on canners? No, we've not seen a lot of them, and they don't go super cheap very often. But what I would encourage you to do is look at YouTube, because you can just do a hot water bath canning, and it's just as easy and takes nothing. Now, I am not an expert, but we have done this a couple of different times. So if you're curious, really all you're going to need is your biggest pot on the stove, a couple of dish towels, but you're going to put them in the pot with boiling water. They're not going to burn, don't worry. But they're going to keep the jars from bumping up against each other, and hot water, and you're done. So you really don't have to purchase anything to start canning if you wanted to, and you'd be set. Speaking of, guys, if you haven't thought about it yet, this is totally the time to start seeds. It's a great time. This should remind you, we should have a garden, or we should have pots on the back porch of some kind of vegetables. Go ahead and get your seeds started inside. I mean, again, what else do you have to do? Let's clean the house. Let's start some seeds, and play a ton of family games. But go ahead and start any seeds that you want. Depending on where you are, they could go outside. For me in South Carolina, we still probably have a couple more weeks until they should go outside. But for folks in Florida, y'all could have started a month ago. But go ahead and start anything that you want inside. Get it going and growing, and you're ready to put it outside, and you're ahead of the game once you do in a couple more weeks. So just you thinking about canning made me thinking about that. We already have a garden outside of winter veggies. So my husband got some lettuces and broccoli. I don't even know what else is out there. I guess he'll have to tell you guys that in the comments because he's the one that's in charge of that one this year. But he's already going and made me poke my head out the window earlier today to see that they were growing. So it's exciting to see when your garden starts to come up. Do I have a tip do you tip when you have grocery delivery? You should. If someone is bringing groceries to your house, they actually don't make a ton of money, and tip is factored into what they're making. So you should tip on that grocery delivery. I do not, and I shared this last week. I don't think anyone yelled at me. I do not tip when I do pickup orders at Target or at Kroger. They work for Target and Kroger. They're making an hourly salary, the normal rate that everyone in Target and Kroger is making. All they did, their job is to walk it to the car. That's my take on that one. And literally that's all they did was walk it to the car. That normal guys, they're not even the ones that went around the store and picked it up for Target. Someone else does that job in Target. Their job was just to bring it to you when you called the button. So I don't tip there. But yes, if somebody was amazing in Kroger with Kroger pickup, then by all means, if you want to tip them, if they went above and beyond and they just blew you out of the water with their amazing customer, then do it. But you don't need to in the pickup settings. And hopefully that helps too, because Soraya, you had the same question. Plan to use grocery delivery in 2 weeks if things are still bad. So you do need to factor in that tip. And keep in mind with Instacart and Shipt, you're probably looking at, having done the math a few different times and comparing sale versus their online price, you're looking at spending about 30%, 25 to 30% more than you would have spent in the grocery store, but you didn't have to go to the store. So, that's the perk, and definitely a nice perk in this setting if you wanted to go that route. And Donna says, off topic, but have you ever had the register say unrecoverable error and turn off the coupon machine at CVS that is 20 minutes from ours has been out of order all year? Oh goodness, I've not ever had it say that and just randomly turn off. And I wish that I could have taken a picture, because last week what the coupon machine printed for me was taller than me. And I'm kind of short, but it was over 6 feet long of what came out of that coupon printer, and it handled it and it didn't crash. So hopefully you I don't know if that's the coupon center or the register that screwed up on you there, but hopefully with the register issue, it wasn't in the middle of things, but it's never happened to me. And then, sorry, I mixed up two things there. So Donna is asking, just started couponing, and I have a question that's off topic as well. The coupon machine is broken in the store near you. So what can you do? You can go paperless. I think probably there were a lot of people that saw that answer coming. I am 100% going paperless when we talk CVS because of the number of digital coupons that you can get. So I'm just going to show you for a second here, pull up CVS. But when you go paperless and you have all of your offers in the app, I am not reliant on the coupon center really for anything. Last week's $20 off $100 coupon you would have needed. But for me personally, everything is in the app. All of my extra care bucks are in the app and all of my offers. So, these are all my digital offers, and we could keep on going. Last week I had over 100 because I had gone through intentionally and saved everything. And then, we're still not there yet. We're still not to manufacture coupons. You get the idea. The coupon center never prints this much for you. Going paperless, it's pretty awesome. Good night. Okay, we just hit app only. And hopefully here in a second, there we go. We now hit manufacturers. That's a ton of coupons. Go paperless. I shout it from the rooftops whenever I can. But you will be much happier that way. You will not have to chase down coupons in your CVS, and you will have all the offers that you want, plus way more than you used to have. So air fryers, Marilyn, yes. a couple of places to check. If you have a Kohl's card, Kohl's is currently running 30% off for card holders. Kohl's Cash is currently also running, so you get $10 back on any $50 purchase, and they have a free shipping code. So there are a number of air fryer deals on Kohl's. Some are already on sale. Look at the Cuisinarts. They've been like almost 50% off over the weekend. I think they're still on sale through tonight. But that will continue. So that 30% off code for Kohl's card holders is good through the 22nd, which is next Sunday. You've got all week if you wanted. So that's the first place I would check. The other place that you can watch for air fryer deals is Best Buy. And this may seem a little strange, but Best Buy loves to do today only deals. Today's deal was on an Instapot, and it was a pretty sweet price. It's one of the newer versions of the Instapot, and it's $49 for a 6-quart Instapot, which is a very good price. That was the Black Friday price, actually, last Black Friday. But they rotate. So they'll do an Instapot, they'll do an air fryer, they'll do a mixer, and then they kind of go back through. So I would just watch Best Buy and their today only deals as well. Usually their air fryer is their Insignia house brand model, but it still will be $29 to $39. What you need to decide if you are looking for an air fryer is what size you want, and that's going to depend on what size family you have and what you plan on cooking in it. But keep in mind as you're comparing prices that there are some large differences in sizes of air fryers. So just know what you're looking at and know what you're comparing before you dive into one of them. Can I scan the same receipt in Ibotta and Fetch? Yes, you can, Janet. So Ibotta, Fetch, and Saving Star even. I could do all three of those. They are not in cahoots together. The only two that I cannot overlap, I cannot scan a receipt into Checkout 51 and Saving Star. They have the same database, the same offers really, and they'll know that you have tried to redeem that offer twice. But all the other apps, they don't care or have a way to know. So go to your heart's content and scan it everywhere. You'll be very happy that you did. And Patty said, how do you go paperless? So when I went paperless, there was a button in the app, made life so much easier for CVS. That button does not exist anymore. The only way to go paperless is actually asking the cashier to do that for you in CVS. And then once you go paperless, it's magical. All your extra care bucks are there, all your coupons are there, and life's just happier. So I think that we're, and yes, Chris, I just saw your comment too. And in case you hadn't heard, Publix did decide that for the time being that they will not have their purple and green Advantage flyers. What I think you'll find though, those sales are still going to be running. The flyers are not going to come out. So you won't have the store coupons to go with the flyer, which is kind of a bummer, a definite bummer. But you will have the sales that were in those flyers. And I can tell you the reason behind that is not actually Publix driving that. It's corporate offices. So I work with Unilever a lot. And if you see sponsored posts on Southern Savers, it's usually Unilever. Guys, it pays the bills. So I can't tell you how many posts I've written on deodorant, but you know what? I'll write posts on deodorant if Unilever is going to pay me to do it. But they actually sent out an email from corporate today that they're pulling all in-store mentions of sales for the time being. I guess in their mind, they don't even want to be seen as trying to push people to go to the grocery store. So that's really what Publix is getting is feedback from the manufacturers. The manufacturers are saying, whoa, we don't want you to push that offer right now because we don't really know that we have stock to handle that push. And we don't want to be seen as trying to encourage people to go to the store. So it's all kind of they want to look better, and this is helping them. So that's why those flyers are going away. They will come back. My guess is we're going to skip the purple, and Publix is praying that we keep the green because Publix gets paid for those placements. The same way I write posts on deodorant from time to time, and I don't write a ton of them, guys, so I don't want you to question every deodorant post that you see go up. It's just Unilever. But Publix, all of those flyers, those placements, those in-store coupons, they're paid for by the manufacturers. So if Publix isn't putting out that flyer, Publix is losing money, and it's not where they want to be. So don't panic and think they're gone forever. It's just a short term, and it really is the brands that are pushing it, not necessarily the store. And another question on apps, Anita is asking, can you submit your email receipt from CVS to Fetch? So Fetch has a way that you can now link your email account with them. I'm not 100% sure what they pull from that and what they don't, because I don't want to do it. So I'm very hesitant to hand over any personal information, and handing over your entire email inbox is a little much for me. So I'm happy to scan receipts when I'm in control of the scanning, but hopefully, Anita, that would pull for you and give you the offers that you are wanting, because they do have that ability. Receipt Hog, which is very similar to Fetch, also has that ability. Does going paperless at CVS mean that I get all the possible dollar off offers rather than the random, unpredictable few, like what happens with the coupon machine? Not necessarily, Cynthia. There are some that I will see other people mention that they had that I don't have, but I definitely get a ton, and sometimes even get multiple for the same thing the same week. So last week I had 3 off 15 in cosmetics and a 3 off 12 in cosmetics. That doesn't always happen, but you get most of the offers. Let's put it that way. The offers that you get from CVS, they are related to what you've been purchasing, though. So the more that you shop at CVS, the more offers that you're going to get from CVS. That's just kind of the gist of what they want you to see, but it is the case. My example recently was I bought Flonase probably a month and a half ago now. I can't go a single week without getting an offer now for allergy nose spray. We bought it one time in the last 12 months, but it is now, you should have a coupon for this. I mean, that's just CVS is gung-ho that this is a regular purchase for us. Okay, Tanya, I love your question. Let's go back kind of on topic here. Is meal planning more budget friendly or not? So honestly, it's a little bit of a yes and a no. If you are stocking up. So if you're like me, right behind me in this wall is our pantry. I have about 6 weeks worth of food on anything that we would normally purchase. I don't have to meal plan to save money. Meal planning for me is more I don't have to stress over what's for dinner. I've already made that plan. But meal planning does save you money on a few little parts, even for folks with a stockpile. If I sit down and I map out just this week's meals, I don't even have to take it out to a month, just this week's meals, then I know that I have anything little that these meals are going to call for, I've got it on hand. I don't have to run out and grab that one random ingredient to make that meal. I've already meal planned. I've already thought out, do we have everything to make these? That's part of it for me. So that's saving you money because you aren't running back to the store for a few different items. The other way that a meal plan can definitely save you money, though, is if you don't have a big stockpile, I can plan my meals around what I do have, or plan my meals around what is on sale. So if I see, hey, chicken is buy one, get one, I can get it for crazy cheap, then let's have chicken a couple of nights this week. I'm not saying you have to do it every night. I know that's going to get old, but planning around what is on sale is crucial when you're first getting started and building your stockpile, so that I'm not just buying what we love to eat, but paying top dollar for it. You don't want to do that. The other side that meal planning is going to help you out right now is making sure that you do have enough food to try to get to that shopping once a week. That's really my goal for most of us in this current setup. You're not going to be able to not go back to the grocery store for 6 weeks. That's not going to happen. But heading in and having a plan to where, hey, I'm going to come here once a week, we're going to knock this out, and we're not really going to come back for another week. That's a good place to be at right now. And it's really where the CDC and everybody would like you to also be, not going to every store in America. So that is going to take sitting down and thinking, what are we going to eat? And what are we going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Making sure that we have everything on hand in our house. How that looks for me, I do not meal plan breakfasts, and I actually don't meal plan lunch. Now, what we're currently doing, this is our normal life. We're all here all the time. So for us, it's not a huge change, though I am slowly having to tell my children this has been canceled and this has been canceled. So, we still have our moments. But for us, breakfast, I keep cereal on hand. I keep bagels on hand. They handle that themselves with just easy, high starch breakfast. It's cheap. Lunch, I usually cook extra with dinner. So lunch is fend for yourself, leftovers, sandwiches, or soup. I do keep a number of soups in the pantry so that they can grab a can of soup. They've all learned that that can of soup feeds two. So if you're gonna grab a can of soup, you have to have a sister who's willing to share that can of soup with you, or be ready to stick the other half in the fridge to eat the next day. But those are our go-to for lunch, is leftover sandwiches or soup, or salad if we've got enough fresh veggies to handle a salad. That is what I had for lunch today. And then I meal plan dinner. Dinner is really the only thing that I'm having to focus on, and I like that. That makes me happy. Now, obviously my kids are a little older. They're 14 to 4. The 4-year-old does get some help with what her lunch is, but she can handle her own breakfast. Teach your kids to do that. It makes life much happier, but it's gonna make your life happier to only have to deal with one meal. What I do want you to think about though is, am I making enough at that meal to handle leftovers? Or if I'm not, do I have sandwich things and soup and whatever else you're going to give them as options? But lay out what those options are. You don't need them cleaning out what the plan was for dinner in 2 nights. So they need to know what their options are for lunch before they just dig in. And if that means that you make a list on the fridge, like here, you hit lunch, you get to pick from these 4 things. That's going to really rain down how much people are killing what your plan was for dinner, and then sending you back to the store because somebody ate it. So hopefully that will help too. And Wendy, I love it. She said she bought laxatives at CVS as a test to see, and now CVS must think that she has a problem because she gets multiple coupons each week. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. That does make me feel a little better. I'm also kind of glad, Wendy, that I bought Flonase, and that CVS doesn't think that we have quite the problem. We just got a lot of allergies in our house. But that is very funny. Where do I get my ideas for meal planning? So Tanya, we post a meal plan every month. That is where we get most of our ideas. The March meal plan, actually, if you just go to Southern Savers, I can show you where they all are. But if you pull up Southern Savers at the top of the site under Frugal Living, I kind of tucked this guy in the corner. Under Frugal Living is menu plans. So go straight to menu plans from Frugal Living and you'll see every single one that we've posted for the last year. We also did one for tomorrow. So I don't know if you already have your plans. I have we're having corned beef and cabbage in the crock pot, by the way, in the Instapot, by the way, if you've never tried that. It works and it's very yummy. So grab March's, the monthly meal plans, it's free. And when you download the PDF, I've had folks kind of curious as to how this works. When you download the PDF, each one of the meals is a link. So some of these will take you to Southern Savers recipes. Others will just take you to other recipes that are around the internet. So grab the one that you want and you can print out the recipe and kind of go from there if you wanted to. So that's my goal, is to make this as simple as we can, so that you can grab, some ideas. I'm not saying you even have to follow this, but that's 30. I see I skipped 31. I'm not sure what happened with me there, but it's 30 ideas for March. We're going to all do a fast on the last day of the month. How's that sound? There will be nothing for dinner on March 31st. I can't believe I just noticed that either. Maybe I should update that and try to give you guys a meal for the last day of the month. But, maybe you've had enough. Leftover night. How's that? Leftover night on the last day. Use those meal plans, though. Get some ideas of what you like. If you've never meal planned before, if this is new to you, the idea of cooking every night is new to you, then really sit down and think about, what meals do I normally cook? Most of us have a good 5, if not 10, that you rotate from, and you don't even realize it, but we do. We have some go-to meals. So write those down. That's a week and a half. If you've got 10, week and a half. And then maybe you just plug in a new one once a week. You're going to be up to 2 or 3 weeks of meals pretty quickly just with that. So it's not as huge of a stressor as you think. I think for some folks, the stressor is that I have to cook now all the time. But for most of us, we're going to be okay. Just focus on, what do we normally cook? How can we make this work for kind of what works for us, what we have on hand in the pantry? It's going to be a lot easier and calmer for you. Okay. Let's see. So Starla, I missed your question as to who was shipping. For Walgreens and CVS. So all of the stores that are offering free shipping are shipping straight to you. It is not shipped to store. So Walgreens, Staples, I even saw a very expensive clothing company today, Draper James. I kind of stalk their clothes, but I can't afford them. They sent an email saying they were closing all of their stores, but offering free shipping on all orders and free returns. And I think you're going to keep kind of hitting that mark too. So just, look for free shipping. Before you go to the store, look for free shipping. You're going to be much happier if you do. With meal planning, Stacy says, I need to get better at it. Start small, Stacy. So I'm sharing, this whole month-long meal plan. Don't go for a month. If you've never meal planned, go for a week. Aim for just 1 week at a time. For us, going for a whole month it can still get tricky because you'll still hit those nights and I don't really want that. But if you go for a week, you've got more flexibility. Also, try to always cook extra, not only for lunch, but for leftover night. I love leftover night. My children don't necessarily love it, but we do. And the other thing that can help with meal planning, guys, is having a set night of the week that's always the same. So Friday night pizza night, so easy. Friday night is done. It is Friday night pizza night every week. And if you do that with a couple different nights, so we have Tuesday night, we have a Mexican meal. Wednesday night, we have a soup. That can change as to what that meal is, but it kind of has a theme, and that theme runs. It just stays around with you. That makes your meal planning so much easier because I have a theme. So if you're just getting started, take some pressure off of you with that. You can even tell your kids, we're having theme night from now on, and tell them what the theme is. I don't know. You can go all out. Y'all can get dressed up if you want to, but it's going to make life a lot easier for you as you're planning out those meals. Do I store meal plans in freezer bags or plastic containers? So do I store my freezer meals, Stacy, in freezer bags or plastic? A little bit of both. It depends on what that freezer meal is. A lot of times it is in a plastic bag. We'll even put chili and soup in a freezer plastic bag. But some items I will put into a container. Obviously, pot pie, you're going to freeze in the pan. Any casserole, you're going to freeze in a metal pan. That's another great item to grab at Costco or Sam's when you're there. Are there metal chafing dishes? They sell them in packs of, I think it's 20. I just grabbed another pack for like $7. Grabbing one of those. And then plastic containers. If you go back, this was eons ago. I'm pretty sure that my amazing husband can find the link. But we did a freezer cooking menu of just chicken and beef recipes too, which is perfect for trying to be on a budget. And a chunk of those go straight into containers. Because of what's in them, it's just easier to put them up in containers than in bags. And that's just up to you. With containers, they do not last as long in the freezer, so you need to eat those a little faster than you would the Ziploc bags. Okay. And I love that you guys are sharing what your kids are eating too. And can we do the next Q&A on meal planning? So Carrie, we could. This has kind of turned into a meal planning Q&A, but we can go there too. And links for Instapot meals. Yes, we did a huge roundup for Instapot meals. It might take me a minute to find it, but I will try to find the link to that one and stick it in the comments, even if it's when we're done. But yes, we did. And then I just saw my husband chime in too. So we have a theme night. Some of you guys, if you've watched for a while, you know this, but every Sunday night we eat Chinese. And it's really just something that my husband and I do. We let the kids kind of fend for themselves on Sunday nights. I cook a big Sunday roast. They fend for themselves. We put them in bed and we eat Chinese, just the two of us. So it's like Chinese date night every Sunday night. Theme nights are great. Just get into a rut. Ruts are good places to be. And they usually make you pretty happy because you like the food that you're eating all the time. And yes, and Jessica's chiming in too. So if you haven't heard, most grocery stores have changed their hours. Sam's has changed their hours, Costco, and even non-grocery stores as well. It's best at this point, before you go anywhere, to just check and see if places are open. I needed to meet somebody to kind of teach them how to do something this week. And even then, you know what? I don't think there's anywhere that we can meet. Figuring that out. Chick-fil-A in our area is not, their dining rooms are not open, their drive-thrus are. So anywhere that you want to go, you don't really want to go there without seeing if they're open first. But in general, you want to do your grocery shopping before 8 p.m. It's just a safe bet that most of them are going to close between 8 and 9. So just try not to stay out too late. How's that? And Cecilia, do I prefer an Instapot or a slow cooker? We use our Instapot way more than we use a slow cooker, probably because we don't start dinner in time to use a slow cooker. We have both. I use the slow cooker typically for Sundays if I needed it so that it can be cooking the whole time that we're at church. But the Instapot for us is just a fast way to get whatever you wanted on the table done. Even dried beans, guys. The Instapot can handle dried beans in 30 minutes versus soaking them all night long. So that's pretty amazing. So chili for us, all of those items, they tend to be just straight Instapot because we're using dried beans for most of those. And then anytime we're doing a ham and bean soup or any of those items, they're also Instapot. And thanks, Paige. Aldi is closing starting at 7, or it's closing at 7 starting tomorrow. So if you go Aldi, you have to shop even earlier. Your 8 p.m. isn't enough of a cutoff. You gotta cut off a tiny bit early. There we go. So, oh, and thank you. There's the link to all the Instapot recipes. It's a lot, but it's a ton to get you started. Okay, we've covered a lot tonight, guys. I think we've hit most of where I wanted us to go to. One thing that I did have pulled. So for this whole free shipping thing and me telling you shop online when you can, if you do not have a Target Red Card, this is the week to get one. Not only because Target Red Cards get free shipping on any order, but through this Saturday, if you sign up for a Target Red Card, you will also get a coupon sent to you in your email, or I know it comes in the mail, sorry, with your Red Card for $40 off your next $40 purchase. And it's good through the first week in May, but to get that coupon, you have to sign up this week before Saturday night. So you can sign up in the store, you can sign up online. I know I mentioned it last week, but I just don't want you to miss it. The Red Card can be a debit card linked to your checking account, so it doesn't get interest, but it is going to give you free shipping on any purchase that you want to make on Target. And guys, don't forget that when Target runs gift card offers, they run them online as well. So this week, when you buy $100 worth of baby care, diapers, wipes, etc., you get a $20 gift card back. Well, you're going to get an additional 5% off of that as well with your Red Card. But even if I wanted to go and grab the toothpaste deal, when you look at that huge Target list that we put in the comments of all the deals that you can grab, you're going to get your extra Red Card discounts on all of those. If you didn't want to use Circle, I can't use Circle on a shipping order yet. It's coming, but I can't yet. If you just wanted to grab the items and not use Circle offers, then you're going to get free shipping on those deals too with a Red Card. So that one, I didn't want you to miss. It does end Saturday night. And the Sam's deal that I mentioned much earlier in the Q&A, I have no clue how long Groupon will be running that one. So if you want that, you want to scroll back up in the comments and catch the link to that one. It's a free Sam's Club membership after gift cards back and a rotisserie chicken. So if you're looking to get stocked up, that's a pretty good way to get the deal versus just paying full price for the membership. And thank you. So Paige is chiming in too. So a great comment on this is, do most grocery stores restock at night? In Karen's area, she can't find milk and eggs. So Paige is saying Aldi gets a truck in every night and restocks the store early in the morning. And really what you could do, Karen, is ask your store. So if you aren't an Aldi shopper, ask your store, when do you get trucks? I know Publix in our area gets trucks. They get a truck every day, but they get their big trucks twice a week. So it's finding out, when does the big truck come versus the little truck who's just dropping off a couple of items. That's going to be your go-to. So find out when that is, and then you're good to shop on those days. A lot of times those trucks are coming in super early in the morning, if not late at night, as Paige is saying, and hopefully it's all out on shelves by the time you would get in there at a normal time. I'm not saying get in there at 7 a.m., but if you head in there by 9 or 10, it's going to be on the shelf. So let's see. Oh, good. Wendy says she finally signed up for the Red Card and did it in the store. And yes, I know I said you could do it in store or online. If you're going to Target, do it in store because the cashier gets a little perk back from that. You make their day when you sign up for a Red Card. I think they only get like a couple bucks, but it's something on top of their normal pay. And it didn't cost you anything to do that either. Let's see. Oh, and Paige is saying if you want toilet paper, make sure you're there when the store opens. So, and that Aldi is selling out within an hour nowadays. And yes, that is definitely the case. We are seeing some pop up online, and then they are usually selling out pretty fast too. Things are going to chill out, I promise. Give it another week. Hopefully you have enough toilet paper to last you a week. But hopefully things are going to last and calm down just a tad. We just have to get there to calm down mode. Oh, and then Cynthia, you're saying you're trying to use free shipping at CVS and Walgreens. So CVS, to my knowledge, I'm not sure that they brought it back yet, but CVS had fully terminated online shopping. Yes, it's still down. So CVS has suspended all online shopping until they can get caught back up due to delayed deliveries and low stock. So they're letting you shop Instacart if you want to pick from your store's selection, but they are not doing any online ordering right now. So you will 100% on CVS, you're going to fail at trying to find the deals on CVS's website. I would hope by the end of the week they can get their issues sorted out because this is costing them money. They don't want to not be able to sell you things. For Walgreens, I know when I did the post yesterday, everything was in stock. So it's just going to depend on what you're trying to grab. I didn't go back through before we went live to see if things were still in stock. But I know that toothpaste was just showing as in stock. So hopefully you can grab a couple of them. Let's see. Oh, and yes, so other folks are chiming in on times too. Winn-Dixie is going to close. Winn-Dixie and Bilo are both closing at 9, and Publix is closing at 8. Every store is kind of chosen a different time. Just make sure your store is open before you head in. Okay, and I'm glad that Diana, I could make having to hibernate tolerable. So in terms of the deals this week, I know I put in a poll this morning because I didn't know where folks would be. It was astoundingly don't go to the store and do drugstore videos this week. So I'm not going to do them. I'm not opposed to it. It takes a lot to scare me, by the way, in terms of health-wise, and I'm a registered nurse. So in the end, I kind of have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of us helping everybody else out if it gets to that point. I don't mind going and filming them, but we are not going to do videos this week, probably not next week. But I will say in terms of the drugstores, yeah, don't miss the list that we posted of all the things that you can get in Walgreens and still get the deals. I was about to make one at CVS when they turned off online shipping, so no CVS one, but you can still get some pretty good deals. Walgreens, Target, and don't miss Staples either. One other thing I wanted to mention, deal-wise, that came out today, we saw this deal before Christmas and it is back, and that is the free K-Cups at Office Depot. So if you grabbed this deal, I didn't even tell my husband this was back because we grabbed it in the spring, last fall. It's kind of fun to see it back because we need more. But Office Depot is running free K-Cups this week after rewards. So you're going to pay for the K-Cup and then you're going to get the full amount back. There is also a 20% off coupon available. So use the coupon, pay less out of pocket. You're still going to get back only what you paid, so it's not going to make it a money maker, but it is going to make it completely free. So you can get up to 4 boxes per household, have them shipped to you for free as well, and you're going to get 100% of that back in rewards. You can turn around and use those rewards to buy paper, to buy whatever else you needed in Office Depot. So fun if you can turn around and use it. Oh, and Chris is saying the 20% off wouldn't work for you. I grabbed some already today and was able to get it to work, but maybe it's just, they may have made some changes between now and then too. So I'll go in and test it, Chris. Even without the 20%, you're still getting free K-Cups, and you should definitely not miss this one. We grabbed it, I guess, last fall when it came out and are just using those up. So it's kind of perfect timing to grab 4 more. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead. I think we're there. I think I've answered most everybody's questions. And how long do you have to use the Office Depot rewards? So they're usually in your account, for me, within like a week or so after I've made the purchase. They say it takes longer, but it doesn't. And then you've got, goodness, I want to say it's 30, if not 60 days we've never had issues with that. We always have something that we can turn around and use them on. That's one I need to go back and check on, because they'll send you a number of emails on it. They're actually pretty good at trying to make sure that you don't miss your rewards and that you use them. So you'll get an email as soon as the rewards hit your account, and then you'll get a couple different reminder emails that your rewards are going to expire, about to expire, whatnot, so that you don't forget to use them, which is wonderful. And Gina says, what are my thoughts on sign-up deals for meal deliveries and memberships like Blue Apron and HelloFresh? Totally cool with using the deals for the sign-up, but I wouldn't keep it after the deals. Honestly, even with the deals, it still makes them kind of pricey per serving based on what we can get with coupons and the types of meals that my crew's normally willing to eat. We've done Blue Apron. They were great meals, and you do get everything you need to make them, which is pretty sweet, shipped to you, but you're going to need to be willing to pay by like around $7 a serving with the discount that they're offering off of each box. And that's a little pricey at $7 a serving. I mean, for me with 7 people, that means I'm paying almost $50 for dinner. Now, they don't even make a meal that works for a large family. Their largest serving size, I think, is 4 for a meal. So kind of out on our part too. But if it works for you meal-wise and serving-wise, get it, but then cancel once the free or once the discounted offer is over, because the full price offer, definitely can do better making meals yourself and buying your own ingredients than having them send them to you. And Carrie asking what's a good price on the Instapot. The deal that is running at Best Buy through tonight is a great deal on the Instapot. So I will share in the link now, so we'll stick that one in for you. But it is $49 through tonight. So that's the one that I would grab. It's a great price for a great Instapot. Okay. I think we're good. I think we've hit everybody's questions now. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I will try to be back on throughout the week though, guys, with just little deals that we're finding, break up the monotony a little bit of being at home. So look for a lot of online deals. I do still plan on going though to the grocery store and hunting for unadvertised deals this week because like most folks, you're probably going to be grocery shopping at least once a week. The goal is once a week, no more. But let's still go armed with what kinds of sales and coupons we can for those deals to get the best that you can and save some money. So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope that it helped you in terms of getting prepared and thinking about what's in your pantry, meal planning. We kind of hit all those things tonight. And feel free to share this with friends and join back in next Monday night. So the plan this week was to have talked drugstores. That is probably going to be the plan next week, to stick with it, and we're going to talk how to save at CVS, assuming CVS has some things in stock. That's where we're going to go. So hopefully you can make it back next Monday night for Q&A. Same time, same place, always 8:30. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I hope that you have a great week.